This is a presentation of the Badlands Media Network. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, it is June 7th, 2023. This is episode 103 of the Rattler Report. I had a fairly busy yesterday. Drove to Tampa to interact with family. That was productive. And I had a fantastic dinner with Cigar City Patriot and Stormy Joe. Then drove back to Gainesville and watched an hour of The Eye of the Storm last night with my guy Paul and Stormy Joe. So here we are, sleep deprived and rocking and rolling. I saw a range of people who I recognize from my chat in their chat. It's like, wow, y'all are doing early morning and y'all are doing late night for real. More power to you, man. I don't know. They did a lot. Rob K, hello. Yes, we got to talk about that LIV and PGA merger at some point, don't we? Because I'm so distracted and all kinds of other stuff going on, I will tell you my suspicion, my first instinct is that is capitulation. That is a Trumpian victory, and it's a harbinger of things to come. That's the way I'm choosing to look at it. We shall see. I'll be curious what you think. Let's see. Good morning, everybody. I see Eurythmic. I'm gonna have to watch that Tucker Carlson episode. Yeah, I'm not gonna be. Look, y'all know I'm Johnny One Note on this Ukrainian thing. I have this video. I'm hesitant to play it for you, but it was pretty persuasive to me, and it was persuasive because the Russians are liars, and I know they are liars, and they showed evidence of the Russians lying when the dam burst first happened and what they put forward. And then what they had to do the backstroke on. This is what the fucking Russians do, and people don't pay attention to it, and they just, oh yeah, the Ukrainians blew it up. Okay, so how do we explain these conflicting stories that were insisted upon early on until the damage was wider spread than they thought, and then they had to change their story? Don't fucking believe it. Excuse me, forgive me. I'm dropping F-bombs already, and I'm so close to Friday and a 2-week break that I need to really, really not do that. So forgive me. I blame it on Eye of the Storm. I'm sleep deprived, and they had good stuff. I mean, it was a fantastic show. The hour that I watched, Kyle, of course, is outstanding, and I wanted to, and I may do it tomorrow. I had planned on doing it today, but I don't have time, and my atomic clock went haywire. The batteries ran out. They started beeping all over the place. I'm thankful it didn't happen during the show. Then I got to figure out, okay, how do I set this damn thing? I gotta. Anyway, the one thing I take away from that, let me just talk about the dinner briefly. Outstanding. Enjoyed the company. Fantastic meeting Stormy Joe for the first time. And I just, man, what a community that we have. What a community. We ate, where did we eat? Green Lemon, I think that was the name of the place. Somewhere in the Hyde Park area, what they're calling Soho. And we all agreed at the table, could we please stop with this Soho nonsense? The waiter said, "Look, I'm from New York. This ain't Soho." Of course not. I just wish we would quit trying to mimic that nonsense. But the restaurant was outstanding. Uh, very pleased. And I will tell you, it was a 5 p.m. dinner. You know, I had kind of sort of requested an early dinner so I could get the heck out and get home in some reasonable hour and not have to overnight in Tampa. And was able to do that. But 5 o'clock, that place was packed. And I was impressed. And it was also in, being Black American, I took note that it was not just it was a diverse crowd. I hate using that word, but quite a few different people up in that restaurant. And as I said to Stormy Joe, quite a few women, some anything, like he said, "Hey man, that's Tampa." I think it's also kind of a Florida thing too. The heat, the more casual nature. But yeah, people, when you have that kind of thing, they're going to push boundaries and they're going to go beyond, some boundaries. Anyway, let me get back to the chat and welcome y'all. Ukrainian deep state actors blew up the dam. Quite possible. Quite possible. I come back to Diana. I come back to the truism. Every damn body is lying. There is a war going on and people want to seize the narrative, both sides. People I'm supportive of, people I'm not supportive of. They may have. I tend to think, of course, the damn Russians blew the thing up because the damn Russians have come to realize they're not ready for this Ukrainian force. They're not ready for the tactics. And what the Russians really aren't ready for, if y'all really if want to hear my honest opinion, what they aren't ready for is an opponent that recognizes their serious weaknesses, that knows them better than they know themselves. The Ukrainians have been under the Russian thumb for so freaking long. And within that Russian Federation, that Soviet grouping, all like that, the Ukrainians have always been a leading edge within the Russian universe. I think so much of their military weaponry and stuff like that was built in Ukraine. They're just better suited as an opposition force than if the roles were reversed. And the Achilles heel of the Russians, this is what I mean about the back at your bitches that Donald Trump, to me, has instituted around the globe. This game these people have played, pulling the wool over folks' eyes, plausible deniability everywhere you go, BS, BS, BS everywhere. Trump is throwing back at him. And he's hiding his hand. You don't know what's Trumpian here. You don't know. You just don't know. But when you look at the way they've done it and the way they have this, what did they call it? A Russian Freedom Corps or something like that. They got two different, supposedly different and disparate groups of Russians opposing the regime. That's their weakness. That's Russia's weakness. They got a long ass border that they can't possibly defend. Pick your damn poison, bitch. This is what I think is Trumpian, and this is what I think Ukraine is doing. And they're coming out with all of this stuff. Even Mike Flynn coming out and saying you have to hide who you're ultimately supporting. That is the Sun Tzu, right? Sun Tzu. Isn't that Sun Tzu? If it's blatantly obvious, is that Sun Tzu? Really? I don't think so. So I'm not, I'm sticking with the Russians blew the damn thing up. That's my opinion. Joe K, I haven't even had a chance. Thank you for reminding me of that. Still scattered, still distracted, still bouncing all over the place. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I finally figured out, well, you wouldn't, I don't think, because it's just manipulation at the opening. but I recorded the damn opening. Those segments are just a video that plays straight until you see my face saying hello. And it's like, why in the hell haven't I done that before? I don't know. But it's just so much has been going on in my world. I think I didn't think about it. Anyway, I've got that done. So it's one less thing to worry about. But I'm sure the email is there. I had noticed that a person or three were emailing and saying, hey, I want to participate. That's great. If anybody listening isn't aware of what I'm talking about, I have a 2-week hiatus coming up off of doing this show. I may have gotten a notice last night from John or Kate about what they plan on doing with this 8 o'clock hour for the 2 weeks. If so, I haven't seen it. But right now, I don't know what they plan on doing. It may just be dead space. I don't know. And but what I've said to the audience is I'm really impressed with the chat personalities we have on the Badlands Media Network. And last night, watching Eye of the Storm only, reinforced it. The chat was really popping last night. And I'm just more intrigued by this chat personality idea where I allow you to interact with me, express your desire to engage a subject with respect. And we're going to be doing that, but you need to identify yourself in email at rattlegator@gmail.com and identify the subject or three that you want to discuss. And then at a date and time of my choosing, I will reach out and try and schedule a recording. We will record the segment, and then the segment will play during one of the shows. That's my plan. And given the organic nature of everything, I'm just gonna let it see what it's going to be and see how it plays out. But I think it's going to be outstanding and for you and for me. Okay, so much is going on. So many changes are in the air. I'm super excited about Twitter. Stormy said last night he has not been unsuspended. I was shocked by that. But okay, I'm fairly certain he will be shortly. And there's just going to be so much activity in these summer months that it's going to be really exciting. I want to address it's not exactly a concern about the Q thing and Q proofs and what our network is doing with that stuff. But it is and it isn't. Yeah, consider our sources, motivation, and history, and the fact that everybody's lying. Everybody. Good morning, Kinship. Armatson, good morning. Brian, good morning. T. Augustine, I like that name. Good morning. Robin, reach out to me. We need to talk about that live PGA thing. I'm very curious what you think. You missed the last hour. So Dina, it's like, I looked this morning. I don't know how the timing works and if there's like an hour run on or something like that, but it was more than 3 hours for the show. It's like, you started at 10:30. More than 3 hours. It's like, okay, this is a West Coast show. I don't know. Denise, if you're in the Eastern time zone, you're damn right. Most of you fell asleep if you tried to stay and watch it. I don't. It's like it's too much, man. Kyle's in the damn East. It's like he's a late night guy. That's the only thing I can figure out. You got to do Twitter, Brian. It's the battle space. Think what you want, but that's the battle space. Yeah, Tucker is I have my reservations. only because I don't know. Like him, I have my reservations. Yeah, okay, I see, Robin. I see. On the live. Good. Right. Thank you for the link. Eurythmic. Um, I am CDC Wells 4. We missed you. Yeah, we had a great dinner in Tampa. I'll be back down. I've got my family there that I got to interact with, and it's going to have to be more frequent than normal. But I'm in and out of Tampa. I'm in and out of most major cities in Florida during the year. Yeah, as a Floridian, born and raised, I don't know. I don't go to restaurants at 5 o'clock for dinner. It may just be me and my quirk, but I was really surprised how packed this place was. 5 damn o'clock, and my sister lives near McDill, near Bayshore Boulevard, and I started to drive from her place to this restaurant, and I'm like, oh hell, this is a mistake. Long line of cars. And it's like, okay, wow, we don't, Tampa is southern, but it's not as southern as Jacksonville. And is somebody going to let you in? And, I sat there and waited, and nobody, it seemed, was letting me in. And as soon as I turned to go right rather than left, I saw this woman in the line. She was making eye contact and she was going to let me in. Then it was too damn late. I was like, now I got to drive all the way around. I got to go. What did I do? Um, I can't remember the street I had, but I had to go all the way down some major street. I cut across. I got back to Bayshore where it was 4 lane with a median split, and that allowed me to zip in. Anyway, good time in Tampa, good dinner, great times with Cigar City Patriot and Stormy Joe. And just, I think we're going to wind up having some Florida get togethers some way, somehow, via the Badlands Network. Yeah. Yes, there is the Azov Battalion. And the reason they have claimed they are Nazis, the reason is that they're the best damn fighting unit in Ukraine. And yes, they probably have some young people in there, just like when I served in the United States Army. There were some young people I served with, had some really strong cultural opinions. Okay. It's no different. They're not Nazis in Ukraine. Eh, I'm not gonna. I don't know why people believe that. I just don't know why people have a need to believe that. The Russians are pimping it. That should be your first clue. The communists, in my opinion, were worse than the Nazis. Sorry if you feel otherwise. They've killed people all over the planet for decades. Yeah, Bonnie's trumpet. I had to announce my my presence, because before this network started and everything was kind of, I'd participate like in Kyle's show in the chat or reading epic threads or something like that. The chat community is a good part of the network, being able to interact, have some conversation, make a notation. Hey, y'all might want to look at this. What do you think about that? And I was free in the chat last night to just say, I ain't a fan of Snowden. I'm not a fan of Assange. Don't 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 come to me talking that hero stuff. Mm-mm, mm-mm. If a man, listen, my bias. I have to, you already know my bias. If a man runs his ass to China, I'm talking about Snowden, and then that punk ass runs to Russia, oh yeah, kill him. I don't have a problem with that. Kill him. Itchy me, rap, yap, do whatever you want. This is the place. Well, it's hard, Nancy Page, and I'm sympathetic to him. You've put together a show, and you're trying to do this, that, and the other, and then people are just rolling. And that chat last night was just rolling, and oftentimes because they've engaged the discussion on something else, it's not necessarily tied to what you were talking about. You're talking about Russia as a whole, not the damn. What are you? Los 526. I'm running behind on the chat. This is just the way I interact. It's just impossible to stay current. What are you asking me? What about Russia? I will give you my opinion if I haven't already. Yeah, and not just that the PGA would cave, Eurythmic. It was that the PGA had a monopoly. And look, you have to understand there's a Saudi Arabia component to this. They talked about it a little bit, I think, last night during the hour I was watching Eye of the Storm. But I don't know. I don't know if they're talking about it in a holistic kind of way, the way I'm seeing it. Just as there is this underground civil war in our country between, roughly speaking, defense intelligence and central intelligence. They've had that in Saudi Arabia. That's why Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, had to go after the institutional crowd that was running Saudi Arabia, who put that 9/11 stuff together in concert with the deep state. People don't understand. Again, we conflate when in this environment with so many oppositional forces, with occasional alliances, specificity is a must. You can't just say Saudi Arabia. Okay, well, what element was controlling Saudi? It's just like the United States and people sitting up here. It's a time for specificity and supreme care. That's why healthy skepticism and discernment is a must. And we can easily get tripped up. We can easily, with the best of intentions, buy into some Russian propaganda, in my opinion. Just saying. I can easily, I'm taking ownership of the possibility that I am wrong about all of this. And some of these content creators on Badlands Media is correct. They are correct. I don't think so, but that's the thing about opinions, right? I'm still working out in my mind a Substack that I very much want to get finished today or tomorrow. And there is this thing about the Q process. Okay, I'm gonna, if I launch into that, I'm gonna ignore my first half of the show ads, and I need to. Gail Q. Stang, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'm honored. Yeah, the Russians are what we've been told they are. If you're of a certain crowd like me, they've been far more successful with the younger generation in faking the funk. I will not buy it. Don't give a damn what anybody says. Hair Guru, thank you. I'm going to give you my straight opinion while admitting my black ass may be wrong. Okay. that's the case for all of us. Uh, Darth Cajun has cookouts. I'm going to show my ass up and eat one of these damn days, boy. Yeah, Los 526, they are 100% a foe. 100%. What are we talking about? 100%. Yeah, south of Orlando, you are in the South, my friend. Don't, you're talking to a native Floridian. Don't buy that nonsense. You know, when I come back to the Black community in some ways because this is what you have to see and understand. You're talking about the dirty South, you know, the bass movement, music, and all what these young people are doing. No native Floridian in Miami, Black American, had any question about whether Miami's in the South. All these people wondering. Look, you got to understand. This is again my bias. This is one of the things about having this show and being able to talk the yang that I talk. My bias. The Caribbean is Southern. Latin America is Southern. When you really look at their culture and you really break it down, it's Southern. Far more. If you pair it up with any other part of the United States of America, very closely aligned with the South. That's my opinion. Yeah. Russia is a liar. I just, y'all are going to see this one day. Russia, I don't think Russia is a bad guy. I know damn well they are. Have you not paid attention to Vladimir Putin locking up opposition leaders in the country, making it against the law to call the special military operation a war? Who the hell does that? Telling the Ukrainian people, oh, your silly asses forgot that you're Russian. That's a good guy? Y'all better wake the hell up. I don't know what you're thinking. Thank you, Cigar. It was a great dinner. I greatly appreciated it. And I'm sure Stormy Joe did too. And you know, wow, just, my second computer just crashed on me. And that's how I read your chat. Let me pull up. I guess this is yet another thing I need to do in the alternative to have it ready to go. Um, but that's also maybe a sign from God. Hey, do your ads, boy. Do your ads. So I need to get back to your chat. And there you are. So I see. I can see that now when I get back from the ads. Country is not the bad dudes. Our country is the greatest country on earth. Damn what the deep state has done in coordination with the globalists and all this other kind of stuff. Why do you think we're sitting here making this effort right now? This Trumpian effort right now. Do you not believe people say, if we fall, it's all over? What the hell does that mean to you? What the hell does that mean to you? Yeah, we are that one. And I'm when people start doing this equivalence, yeah, don't do that with me. That will draw out some real venom from me. Don't do the equivalence thing. Yeah, I don't accept that. There is only one nation specifically telling the world you have God-given inalienable rights. Only one. Where the hell is Let me stop. I'm trying not to cuss, right? I'm hoping y'all aren't laughing at me, but yeah, that has thrown me for a loop. I got to do these ads. And I did see it instructed, and we've had some back and forth. There's one ad where there's a specific Rattler code I'm going to be trying to pimp, I think, but I didn't understand what was going on there. And anyway, it's a lot. The network is still working through a lot of issues on how we're going to do what we're doing. But, and I'm still learning this laptop. It's sensitive about certain things. And, you know, I'm not the tiniest person on earth. But let me see if I can get some of these ads out of the way. First up,
we want to welcome another new advertiser here at Badlands, NoBugsBeef.com. Let's face facts. America's supply chain is going to be increasingly disrupted in the coming months, which means it's not if we'll have a food shortage, it's when. Having enough protein to feed your family for several months is essential for your survival. That's why we've partnered with NoBugsBeef.com. They provide sous vide, freeze-dried, all-American beef from ranches in Texas that have never, ever given their cows an mRNA jab. The beef, stored in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers for maximum shelf life, will stay shelf stable for more than 10 years without refrigeration and with maximum nutrition and flavor. All you need to do is soak it in water for 15 minutes and it's ready to eat. These are not your typical survival meals. They're premium cuts of ribeye, New York strip, tenderloins, sirloin, and chuck. Get your family ready for the chaos at nobugsbeef.com and use the promo code BADLANDS for an additional 10% off your order. That's nobugsbeef.com, promo code BADLANDS. And just a quick reminder to check out Badlands Marketplace on badlandsmedia.tv, where you'll find nobugsbeef.com and a growing number of America First businesses listed. Help build our parallel economy by shopping America First.
Welcome to the MyPillow 2.0 commercial. The MyPillow 2.0, the most amazing pillow in history. That new technology is still the MyPillow's patented fill, but now we have new technology we didn't have back when I invented MyPillow that's going to help you sleep. It's absolutely amazing, and you're the first ones that can check it out. Go to MyPillow.com, use the promo code on your screen, and we brought back the buy one, get one free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Okay, now I probably played the wrong damn ad for today. The point is mypillow.com. Our friend Mike Lindell and his business, we all are familiar with him and the efforts he's made to assist this parallel economy and the development, especially given the way they tried to cancel him so much. So, hey, he's got this thing out now, up to 80% off, sandals, slides, beach towels, and blankets. MyPillow.com is the website. Use the promo code BADLANDS when you visit. All right. I think I got through that, right? I think I got through that. And this daggum, I'm going to have to give up on that, and I may not be able to interact with the chat as much. But the thing about the Q, here's what I wanted to get into about Eye of the Storm and, you know, us interacting with these Q proofs and all of that good stuff. When I was out in Vegas, first met John, first met Kate, first met Matt Trump, and Patrick Gunnels. We did a little live stream before the event happened. I think they let a few people come on just to show the audience, yes, we are real people. Yes, we have gathered. We're out here. Okay. And I was saying, listen, about this Q thing. And, you know, I was more agnostic then. I've never been anti, but I was agnostic. Again, my healthy skepticism is such that, okay, this thing is being presented. I'm not accepting that thing right out the bat. Not going to happen. I'm going to apply a heavy dose of skepticism to it. And so my approach is to be agnostic about things like that, that purport a certain thing. People are responding in a certain way and they seem excited. Okay, fine. Let me just check it out. I never, to this day, I have not dove into the Q thing. Not interested in that. It's too much for me. But for people who are interested, and they do a tremendous service, I think, when they do that for us. Okay. But what I said out there in Vegas is, listen, to me, this looks like something totally put together by Green Berets. All right. And it is playing off of a motif from their training. There's a Q course they have to complete to become a Green Beret. And what I think they're doing is they're interacting with the American population as part of irregular warfare, counterinsurgency, and all that good stuff. It's a teaching tool. It's a multivariate tool, because part of it is also discernment, because I guarantee you there is purposeful false information in there. And one of the concerns I have listening last night and all is like, I don't see what would make me more comfortable is something that parallel the Q proofs. It's like, maybe I'm just not aware, but are we diving into that thing now and looking at what may very well be disinformation when we're going through these deltas? Is everything about something of a positive proof regarding Make America Great Again? That's tricky. And I think we need to be careful, because what these folks would tell you, the Green Berets who put together that Ghost in the Machine video, it works both ways. This is some of the back at you bitches thing. We're targeting these freaking Russians who've got so many people thinking, oh, poor me, oh, poor Russia, NATO is crowding our border. It's not your fucking border. It's the border of Ukraine, and it's their sovereign state. It's the border of Lithuania. You don't tell Lithuania what the hell to do. You don't tell Estonia what to do. You don't tell Latvia what to do. And you damn sure don't tell the Poles what to do. Shut up about encroaching on your freaking border. Why people buy that, I don't understand. Do you not understand they are colonizers? Do you not know what that means? Do you not know what they did in Crimea generations ago? That's not Russian territory. Oh my goodness. Anyway, can't do I need to not pay attention to that. Sorry. I need to pay attention to getting the show done. And I wanted to, let me show you my tweet. I think I talked about this yesterday. I'm just going to focus on this tomorrow, because this Russia thing is really starting to bug me, but it also is bugging me in the Q proof kind of way, and the healthy skepticism and the discernment. And so tomorrow I'm just going to structure a show that's going to revolve, or at least initially, around this issue. Let me pull up my page. That's presuming, and I'm still going to be trying to finish up this Substack, and it may take a damn week. I hope not. I hope not. But here is my curiosity. This is what I posted on my alternative Twitter account, because the other day I was trying to find it, and of course I couldn't find it because I'm still getting used to, okay, wow, I got multiple Twitter accounts, and I thought I responded on the Ratligator report and the Ratligator account, and I kept saying, it's like, where is this? Okay, it was on the other account. But this is the thing, Jack Smith is a real interesting character. Is he not? And Donald Trump insinuated at a speech in Mar-a-Lago, if I recall correctly, he specifically called out Jack Smith. And he insinuated Jack Smith, it seemed to me, ain't his real name. And it's like, who is this mofo? If Jack Smith is a cover, if Jack Smith is a creation, right? So Lee Smith, y'all might want to read this thing before my show tomorrow. On his locals account, he's got the ugly history of the DOJ hatchet man tasked to target Trump. It's a fascinating story that Lee Smith lays out about this man. Now, the thing about healthy skepticism and discernment, if you do, as I suggest, and you start at when you don't know anything and you only know a little bit, or you don't know anything, you start kind of sort of from a 5149 perspective. What do your instincts say? And then you try and let information guide you forward in discerning what the heck is what. But this guy, him got a recent story. And Lee Smith lays it out. And my confirmation bias says this is a perfect window into how these competing teams around the globe sometimes work with one another, sometimes work against one another, but they all the time are working against the United States of America. And you just have to recognize these occasional partnerships. I think this man, until it's proven otherwise to me, worked with Team Russia and the deep state to take away a Trump historic accomplishment vis-a-vis Serbia and Kosovo. That's what Lee Smith details in this story. They could not have that Trumpian Abrams Accord victory in Europe. But that's what was on the table, and Rick Grinnell lays it out. Now, the only thing you have to then do once this gets put out there, go back. Did this man prosecute that individual in the way that Rick Grinnell says? Did he or did he not? Did it or did it not torpedo a major Trump accomplishment? Who is this Jack Smith mofo? What the hell is going on with the Department of Justice? Is this part of that multi-decade sting? Is there, in fact, a multi-decade sting? Or is that just a constructed narrative on a strategic retreat so that these people can figure out a way to continue their maintenance of control and power? That's what's on the table, and it hasn't been answered. The question is still out there, big time. But you're going to have to be very careful who you're relying upon on some of these stories. But you know damn well this guy is important when Donald Trump calls out his name, and he has been targeted as prosecuting Trump. I can very easily see he may be one of the good guys, and in fact that prosecution is precedent setting, and it is discovering the networks unbeknownst to many of these other people. I can see that. Pulling with that story right now, given what Rick Grinnell has said to Lee Smith. But what Rick Grinnell said to Lee Smith, given, hey, remember, he had this job over there, ambassador of Germany, and then he had to come in director of national intelligence for a period. He's an operator himself, having had that position in the Trump administration. Is he advancing something now to generate discussion and focus on Jack Smith so that ultimately when the loop-de-loop comes and the left wing goes crazy, okay, that could be Trumpian. That could be Trumpian. I can see that. I'm just not rolling with it right now. But tomorrow, I'm going to walk through this this article from the vantage point of healthy skepticism, discernment, Ghost in the Machine, Q, and all that good stuff. We are just at a very interesting moment now where we've got to be very careful. This is just going to be a huge summer. Huge summer. So much is going down. Stormy last night was talking about perhaps the fourth quarter of this year. You read some of those Q drops and you just remember, is this educational? Is it to confuse the enemy? What is it? What is it for? I just think we have to be really careful with these Q drops. I want to share this screen as well. I'm going to have to read some ads in a minute because this is also something that's floating out in the universe. Let me see if I can share this screen with you, this particular tweet. See it. It's a Praying Medic tweet. No. And I don't know why. Oh, there we go. All right. Praying Medic asked the question, and we all know Praying Medic, right? Why are so many rhinos running against President Trump? My guess is that they think Trump will be indicted. The indictment will destroy his campaign, and there will be a free-for-all for the GOP nomination. I wonder what y'all think about that. Could be. I know some people absolutely have gotten in the ring. They're 100% convinced of that. But I'm 100% convinced this is why the Trump team have put together this approach, and it doesn't just involve Ron DeSantis. It involves Mike Pence, maybe one or two others. They are soaking up oxygen as a blocking action against these wrongdoers. Chris Christie is a damn wrongdoer. It's blocking fools like that who never were working on our behalf. So, and it's a fantastic strategy because there's no room for them to even get oxygen. There's just no room, in my estimation, right? Let me find these last two ads. Oh man, I think I know what this other one is. Yep. All right, let me up so that I can copy it and share it, because I'm in the wrong screen and I run a curveball. Bad news, man. Bad news. So it's just not going to work. Let's see if I can share the screen and start the first ad. There we go. Badlands Marketplace. We are really pumping this hard these days. And the reason we're doing it is because we must set up this parallel economy, right? We must set up this parallel economy. There's just no other way about it. We see all the stuff that's going on. We see craziness every week. it seems, and it just continues on and on and on and on and on. So if you're looking for ways to stop funding woke companies, if you're looking for ways to shift your support to America First businesses, we suggest you take a look at badlandsmarketplace.com. We've got a range of providers there, from contractors to irrigation suppliers, from virtual assistants to telehealth medical services, from online boutiques to jewelry and accessories. Badlands Marketplace, ladies and gentlemen, represents a growing number of America First companies that need your business to succeed. And if you own an America First business, please contact Kitty Gillespie to see how Badlands Media can partner with you to promote your company. Just email Kitty at ads.badlandsmedia@proton.me. That's ads.badlandsmedia@proton.me. Okay. So that's the thing. I forget to stop sharing the screen. It's like, okay, yeah, 1 goes before 2, and then 2 leads 3. Okay. The next ad, as I still have a few minutes left to get this in. The guy with the beautiful, joyous voice. That, of course, is Brad.
Benson Honey Farms delivers raw honey straight from the hive to your table. It is their mission to provide you the best raw honey at the lowest prices possible. By not pasteurizing, overheating, or filtering their honey, Benson Honey Farms ensures that all of its natural pollen and enzymes stay in the honey for maximum health benefits. So cut out the middleman and go straight to the source. Visit BensonHoneyFarms.com and use the rep code BADLANDS to place your order today. That's BensonHoneyFarms.com, rep code BADLANDS.
One of the things about this 2-week hiatus that's coming up is I am going to try and cut back on the coffee. The big mug. What I think I'm going to try and do is a modified version of that little Cuban power pack of a little bit of coffee that necessarily will have a much smaller amount of cream. I do want my cream. I've got some condensed milk. They're just things I'm going to try to do to cut way back. But these mugs, oh man, I don't like the little bit of coffee. I like that big, let me sip on something with some flavor and sugar. And of course, that's the problem. So I'm going to try and cut back on that during this 2-week period so that when I come back, I will have been able to notice, okay, how is it affecting me? Am I making some advance? Am I going to have to admit defeat? What? But that's part of my strategery in terms of trying to address, my little do-it-yourself protocol and how well it is or is not working. So let me go. I also, I have this guy, Wretched the Cat. You may have heard me talk about him. I love Richard Fernandez. That's Wretched the Cat. And his Belmont Club, some of his takes. He's one of the people I want to try and reacquaint myself with during this break, just to see what kind of logical flow he's having and how he's interacting with the events of the day. And I saw an article. It may be something I address on Friday. We'll see. But let me see if I can share this screen. Just as an indication of some of my curiosities. I'm all in on Elon Musk, Tesla, and I'm all in on us taking the necessary walk with these technology people as they explore artificial intelligence. I just don't see any way we as a faith-based community don't take that walk with them. We cannot absent ourselves from this technological advance. It is going to occur. But one reason why I like Wretched is he is faith-based, and this is one of his latest offerings over there at the Belmont Club. Can hidden dangers lurk behind the bright promise of artificial intelligence? And of course, you know the answer is you damn Skippy. But that's not the end of it. I haven't read this article. I plan to do so. I invite you to do so. These are questions we're going to have to address, and don't think I've forgotten about the 23 guidelines of the Assimilar AI principles that I talked about before. I even gave a link, I think, and said, hey, we're going to discuss these 23 guidelines and what do we think about them. I have not forgotten about that. I still have every intention of doing so. And maybe, well, let me not. It'll be after the 2-week hiatus because I got to finish the Substack. I have to do all of this stuff with the family in Tampa. Got a lot of things to do. But let me say goodbye. Did I, this is the thing that throws me off. I did stop sharing the screen. Okay, very good. I'm going to quickly check your chat, I think. No, wrong yet again, black man. Here we go. Ria, so you enjoyed the chat last night on Ida's Room. They're fantastic. They are. We need those kind of discussions, even if they disagree with me on this, that, or the other. That's not important to me. It's the discussion that's important, and what members of the community are able to then discern and decide for themselves. The thing about so much of this is, how do you maintain, keep it simple, stupid, right? While you're engaging those cue drops. And, this is where the discernment comes in. And this is where, if you're coming through the Green Beret qualifications course, they challenge you. What is your level of discernment? How can you handle the mission interacting with your instinct? Right and wrong, ethical, not ethical, etc. So I just say, hey, man, they're putting the country, if you're engaged in that Q stuff and diving into it, it's like the Green Berets are putting you through a Q course. They are testing you in efforts to try and get you to graduate out with healthy skepticism and an ability to be a force multiplier. That's what it's all about to me. Question everything, be able to deal with disagreements, but more than that, be able to continue to march and accomplish the mission. All right. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say thank you so much for joining me. I got to remember to do these outros and not be an abrupt see you later alligator. Okay. I'm good at that. I'm very, very good at it. So thank you for joining me. I look forward to you maybe checking out some of those articles and being ready to have a back and forth with me tomorrow, bright and early at 8 a.m. Okay. Later, Gators.
Badlands Media wants to welcome our new podcast audience. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, this show was originally broadcast live on Rumble. Remember that you can always go to rumble.com/Badlands Media to connect with our Badlands Media channel and watch live and interact with our community during our shows. Come join us on the Badlands Media channel on rumble.com/Badlands Media.
What the hell?
Thank you so much for joining us, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up on this video. And a special thank you to all of our advertising partners. Please remember to shift your dollars to support those businesses that support Badlands Media. And if you're interested in advertising with Badlands yourself, reach out to Kitty Gillespie. Her email is ads.badlandsmedia@proton.me. That's ads.badlandsmedia@proton.me.